Hey everybody, it's Sam Trotta here from Striation 6, and today I'm here to talk to you about some ways that you can get the most out of your work on this leg extension machine that I'm sitting on right here. Now, the leg extension is somewhat of a controversial exercise, if I'm being honest. It's lost favor quite a bit in the last, say, 10 or 15 years, maybe a little more, in popular exercise circles, because it's known as being more of kind of an isolation exercise and simply second, if that, to squats. People love squats, and they love squats for good reason and for their own personal reasons. The leg extension can be a great complement to squats. It can help you build a great squat, and it can be a great asset to help you build strength in your quadriceps and support the knee joint. So we're here to talk about this machine today and how you can get the most out of it. All right, so just a quick note before we get into specifics about how to set up your best opportunity for success on a leg extension. We have to address the whole idea of machines, and I'm not going to spend too long on this, but let's realize that not all machines are made equal. So if you attend a fitness facility where the leg extension doesn't feel good to you, it could be that it's just not that good of a leg extension machine. The cams, the mechanics on all these machines tend to be quite different from company to company, and sometimes even within the same company as years go on and things change in the design and engineering departments. The thing that we have to realize though is sometimes a machine can actually be designed well. It's about the how. So let's zero in on some execution tips so that you can stay safe and get the most muscular benefit. Get the most muscular benefit possible from your leg extension efforts. All right, so I've changed camera angles here because I think there's a couple of things that you really need to see from this view. So first of all, if you look right here where my hand is, this is the actual hinge that will be moving or representing movement in the machine. So the first thing that I want to do when I'm setting up my leg extension is I want to make sure that my knee joints are as in line as possible with this hinge on the machine, so that when my knees move, they move in line with the machine, since the machine has a fixed path of motion. So you can see as I swing my legs around in here and lean back that I'm seated pretty comfortably and that my knee joints are pretty much in line with the hinge where my hand once was. Okay, so the next thing that we want to do here as we actually begin to execute on our leg extension exercise is make sure that we're braced into the machine, or that we're restrained into the machine as much as possible. This is especially true if you're using a weight that's relatively heavy compared to your body weight or compared to your relative strength threshold. So this machine is set up very, very nicely with these convenient handles. We can really hold ourselves down and brace against the weight that we're about to lift. If you don't have a machine with handles, there are usually seatbelt apparatuses and things like that you can get that you can strap under the seat and over your legs to help hold you in place. All right, lastly, and this is lastly for today, not lastly in general, we could talk about this for days, but lastly, what we want to ensure for most people, at least in the beginning, okay, in the beginning of the progression with this leg extension machine, is that we move slowly. Now, I don't have an inherent bias towards or in favor of slow movement versus fast movement in exercise. There are benefits to moving fast through certain exercises. However, that speed should come let's say along a progression where you've moved slowly first and you've begun to gain a sense of control over the kind of movement and the muscle that you're performing and the muscles that actually perform that movement. Here in this leg extension, we've got these knees and these quadriceps under a particular level of emphasis. So my bias in this case in favor of moving slowly is to make sure that this often vulnerable and sometimes sore joint on many people is protected, and that we can get the absolute most control from our quadriceps that we have available as we move smoothly, securely, and under control through this range of motion. In this case, what you might actually be able to do is approach a kind of lockout position through the knee that you might not have otherwise been able to do, as long as the support systems and restraint systems are in place well enough and the weight is one that you can handle. Moving slowly into this end range position can actually allow you some safe, healthy, and meaningful exposure towards that idea of lockout in the knee. Help you strengthen that particular range of motion, the muscles that would control it in the lengths, that they need to go to in order to control it and give you an overall healthier joint and healthier muscle system that supports it. Thanks so much for tuning in today to learn a little bit more about how to make the most out of your leg extension efforts. I hope these tips have been helpful. I hope they've also either amplified an appreciation that you already had for this exercise and this kind of machine, or maybe planted a seed of appreciation for it so that when you come back on into Striation 6, you can make the most out of your time on it, serve your body well, and progress in your exercise process. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see you all back in here.